Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to another story video. Today we're gonna talk about this indoor park, skate park. It's my second home. You know, I was at church the other day on Sunday. Today's Tuesday, by the way. Tuesday, October 22nd, I think. See, 19, 20, 21, 20, yeah, 22nd. Yeah, I was at church on Sunday. I was at the Sunday school, and one of the teacher, he was teaching us. He was saying when he was in a refugee camp, there was this saying. There was a thing saying like, this country will be my third. You know, this country will be my third country. And he didn't understand that. He's like, what do you mean this third country will be my country? So the first country is, he was born in Laos, right? So the second country was when he went to the refugee camp, just like I did, you know? He's almost like the same age as me. You know, I was born in Laos, 1971. When the communists came in 1975, we had to leave the country. So that was my first country. And in the second country, I went to Thailand to a refugee camp. And the third country will be my country, meaning our future was like up in the air, you know? A lot of us don't know if we're gonna make it or not. You know, some of us don't survive. Just trying to get away from the communists. Just like, you know, my older sister, my niece, and two of my nephews, they died, they drowned trying to cross the Mekong River to get to Thailand. So they didn't even make it to the second country, you know? So the third country could be anything, you know? Could be America, could be Europe, could be Canada, wherever the sponsors send you. But we were fortunate enough to come to America, you know, come to New York City. So that was a blessing. That was a blessing for us. So I was, you know, when I started skateboarding in 1985, I was 14 years old. I loved it so much that I wanted to share it, you know, with other people. And I was like, man, if I can make just a little bit of money when I grow up, you know, when I get to like 18 or whatever, you know, and get a job, what I wanted to do was, I want to go back to my country in Laos and open up like a boys and girls club or something, you know, and have like a spread the love of skateboarding, you know, because, you know, this is the 80s, early 90s. No one ever, you know, there's not a lot of the third world never even heard of skateboarding. I mean, that's the reason why I moved to California, is because all skateboarding was, back then, was all in California, you know, in the 80s, early 90s. This is way before the internet, right? And yeah, that was one of my goals. Was I was never materialistic, you know. I never had money, and I never saw like, I mean, like as the good life, as in like abundance, you know, materials. I mean, we had enough to eat and survive. but not like abundance, you know, like here in America, where we have like access of everything, and everything was, you know, like affordable, you know, like affordable as in like you can still get whatever you want if you work hard enough and save your money. So so that was one of my dreams, man. I wanted to open up, you know, have a little skateboarding thing, share with all the kids and everybody, you know. And but things didn't go the way I wanted to. You know, in 1995, October, I was working at the Taj Mahal Casino at Atlantic City, New Jersey. I had a headache for like 3 days, and the nurse told me to go down there to get my lab done, and I got my lab done, and turns out they called me the next morning. Like I said, you know, there's no internet, no cell phone, nothing like that. It's just a home phone. They called me like 7 in the morning, telling me I had to go to the emergency room, and I get there. We waited for the doctor. So the doctor came in and told me my kidney was only working 10%, which is no big deal, you know, compared to all the things that I went through, you know, from the refugee camp, you know, from the war and everything, war-torn time. So it's pretty much, I had to grow up fast, you know, so it was nothing. Plus my mom, she was already on dialysis, so I already know what that was all about. So it didn't shock me. Like, okay, whatever, you know. It's like, instead of like being sad and negative everything about everything, I was just wanting to know, like, what is the solution, you know. They're like, oh, well, we're gonna cut this piece right here, put access in there, and then after 3 months we'll do dialysis. And so that was October 1995, and January 1996, that's when I did my first dialysis treatment. So, well, there's no dialysis in Laos, so my dream kind of taking a back seat, you know, because, you know, God works in mysterious ways, you know. He always knows what's best for us. He always gives us more than what we, sometimes we think of something that's wrong, there's a reason behind it. Just like when I went blind after I got my kidney transplant in 1998, like 1999 I went blind. Around 2002, I've been going to the eye doctor, and that's where I met my wife, you know. So I went blind, but I met my wife there at the eye doctor, and I was with her for 22 years, you know, until this year of January 29th, 2025. You know, God took her up in heaven, you know. She was suffering too much down in this earth, and I miss her a lot. I miss her every day. But I know it's a better deal for her, because she had 5 back surgeries, you know. She had 2 hip surgeries. She broke an ankle. She had depression. You know, there's a lot of things, man. So, you know, like I was saying, you know, even though I lost my vision, I met my wife, so I was with her for 22 years. So that was a good, you know, it was a fair trade. I mean, not even that, but the way I was going, I was living pretty not recklessly, but just I was living for myself, so I had no caring for anybody. You know, I would skate down the street like against cars and pushing my luck, you know, running across burnt down buildings, across the beams, and falling off, and I could have died there when I was like 10 years old. Instead of all those rebars sticking up, I could have fell on one of those and got stabbed and died right there when I was 10 in New York City. But instead, God saved me. I fell on the door, you know, And when I fell down on the door, I looked to the left or right, like all those rebars sticking up. It could have been like the Mortal Kombat, you know, in the pit. Get over here, you know what I mean? Like, it flew, could have died there. So, God has saved me so many times in my life. And, yeah, I love California, but we were just getting by, you know what I mean? Just rent to rent and everything, and I didn't really have extra money to help myself or help others. I mean, I remember just one time going to the to play Yu-Gi-Oh at the card store, you know. We were playing cards all day, and it's like 6 o'clock at night. Everyone was like, yeah, you know, let's go to Panda Express, you know, to go eat or whatever. And so I tagged along. I didn't even have any money, you know. I had like a couple of dollars in my pocket. I just had enough money to enter the tournament and, you know, bought a soda and stuff like that. But I didn't even have money to eat. But I went with them, and then one of the guy, he had like a 2 combo, and he was eating. And he saw me. I didn't have any money or anything to eat. So then, like, you know, like, he saved some of his portion and gave me the rest of his food. So that was very cool, you know. So I ate that up. So I felt like, I don't know, it kind of knocks down your pride, you know. Like, everybody's all going out and didn't even have money to eat, you know. So a lot of times I would just stay home and I'm trying to think not to miss anything, you know. I might go back and forth, but I'm trying to make it in order, you know. So I came here after I got my kidney transplant in 2002. Right before I met my wife. I met her in September 6, 2002. Right around March, April, May. So I came out here for a little bit. And I went to the skate park right up here in Mansfield, which is an indoor skate park. And it cost $10 to get in, so I was paying $10. And then eventually I met that guy, Nate, my friend Damien. He was working, there was a skate shop inside of a skate park. And I've been to a couple of them. I've been to Chesapeake, Pennsylvania, called Cheapskates. They had an indoor skate park with a skate shop inside. The Pau Peralta in California, in Santa Barbara, they had a skate shop inside and things. You know, there's a couple. Skate Lab, they had the same thing. But those were all like far from my house, you know. I tasted those little. God was giving me these little drips of like indoor skate park to the skate shop, and you know, from Pennsylvania to California, you know what I mean, to Texas. So I used to drive. I used to have a little Nissan truck, 1985. I was driving here to the skate park. I would go like 2-3 times a week, and I got to know Damien a lot. And so he hooked me up. So I was like, he hooked me up on his team. So I got to be like on the team, so I got in for free now, you know. So yeah, I was one of the cool guys. I got to get in free now, you know, instead of paying $10 each time, which I don't mind. So one summer, he was doing a skate camp. He asked if I want to be in it, and I was like, hell yeah, you know. I would go there early. I'd go like 7 in the morning. They had to sign up like maximum like 30 or 32 people. And man, it was cool, you know. We at lunchtime we'd like watch videos, and I brought my video. You know, I was showing him a video of me when Chad Muska was 18 years old on his 18th birthday in Costa Mesa, California, and I was filming it, and I brought it over, and I let all these people watch. And plus, at the time I had a Subaru, It had all these, like, one side had Spitfire spray painted, and then this side had Ghetto Child. Because when I saw Chad Muska, he's like, yeah, paint Ghetto Child on there and I'll hook you up. So he hooked me up with this big box of stuff. And so these kids, you know, back then Chad Muska was the shit, right? You know? And all these kids were like, just at lunchtime they would come up and I would tell them stories, and we would sit back in my truck. I brought, like, on a Friday I would bring a, which is the last day of the camp, I would bring a barbecue, and I bought a bunch of, like, Shasta soda and shit like that. I told them they want to bring anything for barbecue, and some kids brought, like, steaks and Brussels, you know, the sausage and shit. And man, damn, it's windy. I guess the wind's picking up. And yeah, we'd just sit in back of the truck, and they would just sit there and ask me stories about California, and I tell them about, like, you know, he's like, how'd you meet Chad Muska and all that. And I told him, you know, we used to skate with him in Arizona, you know, with this skate shop called Skateboard Heaven. They had a mini ramp inside, and he lived, like, up the street from there. It was like downtown Phoenix, Arizona, and he would come and he'd be like, hey, look, film me. Like, he wanted me to go film him in the backyard, you know, in the back of the skate shop and shit, in the alley, you know. He'd be like this dirty rug, you know, skate rat. Like, you know, he's skating all his trucks all loose and shit, all fast, super fast. And I didn't think anything about him. He was probably like only 12 or 13 years old, you know. I didn't think he was gonna be. So when I first saw him in a magazine in Transworld for an AM checkout, and it said Chad Muska, I was like, because I didn't know his last name, you know. A lot of people when we meet, we don't ask him for the last name, you know. I just knew him as Chad, right? And then all of a sudden, after he got on Zero and Toy Machine and shit like that, was he on Toy Machine? I think he was on Toy Machine or Zero or some shit. I mean, he was skating with Jimmy Thomas and shit, so yeah. I think he was on Maple, right, for a little bit, Flow. And all of a sudden, man, he became the Muska. I was like, what? The Muska, you know, Muska beat. So it's like hype, right? So I was telling these kids all these stories, and so I ended up doing 4 skate camps back to back to back, and there was actually like about 3 people signed up for all 4 skate camps. So there was me, this one guy, I forgot his name, but he was a pro here, locally in Texas. He was great at skateboarding, you know, but he didn't have the personalities, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't know how to relate to kids. So, like, I was good with kids, you know. I remember James Craig, he gave me a bunch of grip tape called Monkey Grip. I had those barrel monkey cut out, you know, like that. So I cut them out. And then lunch break, instead of watching videos, I would go to the Dollar Tree, and I bought all these little scissors and these little, you know, dollar scissors, or like 3-pack for $1, whatever. And then, cause we were split up into 3 groups with like 10 people, like 10 or 12 people. And then lunchtime we eat our lunch, and then I tell everybody, hey, you guys want to learn how to cut monkey grip? Cause I had monkey grip on my board. And some kid asked me. I was like, yeah, you know, you guys want to do it? I'll show you. So and then all these kids, I was showing them how to cut out the monkey grip on their grip, you know, with the razor blade and everything. So they had this big mini ramp inside the skate park. The skate park is called Freestyle, by the way. Freestyle skate park. It's an indoor skate park. And they had this 6-foot half pipe, and we had a pumping session, you know, so you could pump the longest. And it was like monkey grip versus non-monkey grip. And next thing I know, it's like everybody want to be on monkey grip, you know? All these kids like, oh man, I want monkey. So people that was in another group, they came over here at lunchtime in my area because they want to learn how to cut it out. So that was the first time I got $400 for teaching cash, okay? So then the guy Damien realized that, like, I was more popular than the other guy. He was pro, but he wasn't as popular because he didn't have personality. You know, he didn't know how to work with kids. So then he gave that guy 400 and he gave me 500 for the second, third, and fourth skate camp. So I remember when I got paid the first time, I bought my sister here. I bought her a Sony VCR. VCR. I think it was like 400 something, almost $500 for a Sony VCR. You know, for VHS. She could watch her Thai movies. Yeah, that's what I did. My first paycheck I got, I bought her that, and or maybe the second paycheck. I did that. Yeah, it was a month, and man, I loved it. And I was going there back and forth all the time, and you know. And then there was another skate park opening up here called Grand Prairie's. It was gonna host like the X game and all that shit, or some, you know, like X Tri or whatever. So Damien, he knew the guy, so he was already booked to do a skate camp there, right after the one we did in freestyle. So I went over there. I drove over there. I hung out for like a week, and I was just teaching kids and everything on my own terms, you know. Yeah, so I was just teaching on my own terms. Like, I wasn't getting paid or anything like that. And then Damien saw that, and he was like asking the guy that was doing it if he could put me on board. And yeah, so I got one more skate camp over there, man. Back then was cool, man. They were paying you cash, you know what I mean? Like Friday came, like boom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, $500, you know, cash. Yeah, so just that month and 1 week or whatever, 2 months, whatever, I made like over $1,000, you know. Oh wait, $2,000 doing the skate camp. And it wasn't even that, it was just so fun, man. Like the money was nice. I don't even know what I did the money, to tell you the truth. I think I bought like a bunch of steaks and all that shit for the kids and drinks and everything. Like probably bought boards to raffle off and shit like that. I mean, just give it back, you know. Oh yeah, the fifth one, the one on Grand Prairie, I had a Autosari, the igloo model. It's got the white bear with the igloo on top. It's a flip skateboard. And I remember I saw Rune Gliffer before I came here from California. He was doing some kind of he was doing the same thing. He was teaching kids how to skateboard. Had like a boys and girls thing at some skate park, and I saw him. I don't know how I happened to have the fucking Autosari board in my truck. So I ran over there, got him signed his name on it, and I kept it. And then, so for the last day here at the Grand Prairie skate park, I did a raffle and I gave away my my Autosari board with Rune Gliffer signature on it. We had like I drew a bunch of like, I don't know how I did it. I think I just made numbers and shit. I didn't even have the ticket. I don't know, just made handmade shit. So anyway, towards the end, we raffled off. Some kid won it. He's all stoked. So yeah. So that was so that kind of relived my, you know, my dream. You know, like I wanted to, you know, have the Boys and Girls Club. And so I'm not the original one. Like I said, Rune Gliffer was doing it. There's a lot of people doing it. Like right now, there's a guy named Skate Nomad. He's gonna go through all the countries, and he's doing like a GoFundMe or something, and he's taking that money and he's giving it to whatever country he goes to. He buys like 5 skateboards, like local boards, and giving them away, or doing little contests or kickflip, whatever. And so that's always been like my dream, you know, of you know, why I started skateboarding, and I love it so much. I want to give it back. So when my wife passed away this year, I moved here in March, and I was just skating out here, you know, just like whatever. And so turns out my ankle or my heel was hurting a lot to push on my skateboard. So I was kind of bummed about that. And you know, like I said, you know, God have a lot of plans for us, you know, but sometimes you don't see it as human. But He's paving these roads for me that I didn't see. And so and then I went to that 10th anniversary at the skate park in Dallas, the one I go to, the 4 Down. When I went over there, you know, I saw they have the half pipe and everything, and I was thinking, how can I still skateboard and advance without really, you know, pushing on my feet? So then it occurs to me that they have a mini ramp and a vert ramp and an indoor skate park, and they have an outside area where they have a bunch of banks and everything like that, where if you can ride those, you don't have to push like halfway, right? And then you can tic-tac instead of pushing. You can just tic-tac. FedEx is here. Fat ass. So man, and so God planted that for me, you know, because now, at first I was sketchy, you know, not sketchy, I was like sketchy to go, you know, because I was thinking, man, it's far, right? Because I have to go here to Bell Station and then ride the train all the way to Dallas, and then, you know, I didn't know anything about the bus. So the first time I went, I took the train to Dallas, and then I walked, you know, to find it. And by then, because remember my heel was hurting, my heels be all sore and everything, and so that was like, you know, like giving me doubts. But before that, let me rewind back. When I first got here, there's a there's a skate park up here in Arlington, which is about 3 miles. I think it's 3 miles or 6 miles. I think it's 6 miles. 3 or 6 miles. I think it's 6 miles. So I try to get there, but turns out there's no sidewalks or no shoulders on the street. So I end up walking like most of those, like 90%. And by the time I got to the skate park, my legs, not just my legs, but my heels, mostly my heels were like so sore, I was limping, you know? So, I mean, I'll put that video in the description, both of, you know? And, so it turns out, I was like, man, you know, and then so I ended up taking a lift home. That cost me like $16. So I was like, man, I can't just keep, you know, paying for the lift, because there's no bus or anything here, unlike California, you know. So that was the first time when I came here. I went to that skate park before I found the one here in Dallas. So then when I found the one in Dallas, I was like, well, I don't need to go to the one here in Arlington. I could just go to the one in Dallas. And it was a rough beginning at first, because you know, I went there, and then I think it like rained twice, and then I cracked my ribs, so that set me back. And then the more like I didn't go, the less motivation I have to go to that skate park, you know. So finally, when I started going there more, I met Will, the owner of the skate shop there, and I liked him a lot, you know. Like, He's like a more of a skate rat than me, right? He owns a skate shop there, but he put all his money into the skate shop. Like he stays there at the skate shop, you know? Like he sleeps there. Like they have a shower and bathroom, you know what I mean? Like his own little room there, which is, that's what I would do, you know what I mean? That's what I would do. I would sleep at a skate shop, you know? I mean, a skate shop, a skate park. I mean, come out every day to go skate. You know, that'd be the dream, but I mean, that's a hardcore, dedicated skate rat, you know? That's how I am. I mean, I don't care. But so I'm like, man, you're more skate rat than me, so I want to support him, you know? So now that I came here, I live with my sister. You know, I get $1,300 from the disability, and I only have to pay her like, you know, like $500, right? For the pay for the water, electricity, and all that. So I have like what, 800, right? Yeah, I have 800 left, right? So I leave like 300 in the bank in case like I have to take the lift. Sometimes, like that one time I got sick real bad in the road to the vert ramp number 4. I got real sick. I caught COVID or something. So I take the lift there to here. It was $32 or $34 from there to the house. So yeah, I need that money in there. Plus, you know, sometimes I need to buy like toothpaste and mouthwash and all that shit, and shavers and whatever, you know, shampoo and all that from Walmart Plus, right? So I put that extra money in there, and then I have 500. So I take that 500, I buy a setup. It's about between $250 and $300. You know, depends what board it is, which skateboard that he has, you know. So I told him I buy a brand new skateboard every month, and then when I get one, I donate it to him or to whoever. Like last time I donated to the kid Jet. So yeah. So then the other 200, 100 of it goes to church because I donate. I give the tithes like $20 every Sunday. So like $80 to $100 tithing for the church. So I have like 100, whatever, you know, buy sodas or whatever. But that's all I need, man. That's like, and so far it's been working out great, man. Like, I can't complain. I mean, this is the best of my life. Have been, you know, because it's backwards. A lot of people are backwards. Like, they're supposed to retire when they're older, but they're like busting their asses still, you know, because they want to drive a brand new F-150 Ford, you know, Raptor, $120,000, you know, whatever. And so they're like working every day and they can't miss it, you know. But for me, I mean, I try not to compare other people to me, but I'm just giving you like examples, right? Just trying to compare that we have to get our priorities straight, you know? Like what you want in life, right? Especially because I live with my sister here, and my other sister from Virginia, she's 70, so, you know, a lot of them are older. I'm the last kid. I'm 54, so I'm the last kid, and that's the only bad thing is all my older brother and sister, you know, eventually they're gonna go. And a lot of her friends, last week, 6 of them passed away, you know? Last week, she had to go to, they have this little funeral thing where they go, like, donate money to help the funeral. Like, they're part of this, like, society, Lao society. You know, they help each other out. Like, they give $30, $50, $100, whatever, when people die. And that's what happened to my mom and dad when they passed away. Those people came and donated money for their burial and everything. The church helped out too, so which is very, very good community, you know. it's not just skateboarding, you know. There's a lot of community to help each other out, help families out, whether they need food or whatever. So I feel like because of the internet, a lot of people seems like they think a lot of the world is all messed up, you know, more messed up than it is, because they don't see the good things that people do in the background, right? Like I'm saying, you know, like people like the nomad, you know, the nomad skater, you know, he's going to these different countries. And actually he had a banger of a video in Greece. In the latest video in Greece, there's this guy named Panos, Panos. Oh man, it's very hard to see a skateboard video that, like, back in the day, man, every video came out was a banger. Like, you want to go skate, you want to buy a new complete, you want to, like, even go out, just do a fucking ollie 50-50, or just even an ollie on the street. You're so psyched, like hyped up. And for the longest time, man, and I guess because the media, you know, there's so much of it that you have to weed out all the garbage videos, you know what I mean? But that one video, that last video I seen with him in Greece, that guy Panos, oh man, it's like, I saw that, it was like, that's the style I want. I mean, there's many people he had. There's another guy in the Philippines, he could ollie like this high, right? Like, it's so solid, you know? Like, so sometimes, you know, I watch videos and I watch all these like beginners videos and stuff. It's fun and everything, but then once in a while you get a banger, you know, banger video that like just motivates you. It's like watching Bruce Lee for the first time, you know? Like, that's how this guy was to me. He was doing everything so effortless, man. Like, just, you know, like kickflip, 360 flip. He had a mini skate mafia board. I don't know if you've seen, you know, like, you've seen it probably in a magazine and videos, like this big. He did like a 360 varial heel flip, like third try, and then after that he landed every time. And just the way he does trick, man, he like, even a ollie 180 backside nose Ficky manuals, it was just effortless, man. Whether it's a kick flip, whether it's a Ficky ollie, Ficky grind, Ficky 5-0 grind to kick flip out, or just 360 kickflip or nose manual kickflip out. I mean, it was just so effortless. And the thing is, I was watching like 10 o'clock at night on Sunday, and I was just watching. I was like, damn, it makes me want to go to skate, you know? So now I see that. So that's his style, like. So now I'm doing a little bit at a time on my skateboarding skills, you know, as far as training. But now I know what to focus on, you know. I need to focus on like more like ollies. I need to build my ollies up and my nollies. You know, ollie, switch ollie, Ficky ollie, nollie, you know, those four. Every time I go to the skate park, I gotta work on those slowly, you know. You can't do it overnight. Slowly build my legs up, and then I'm not even worried about any flip tricks. But when I saw him, it was like, man, yeah, that's the secret. The secret was the ollie, you know. Plus they just got done with the Tampa skate park amateur contest, and man, all those kids are killing it, man. Like, yeah, skateboarding is still huge, you know. Like, it depends what video you watch, you know. Everybody's still wanting it. So I'm just thinking, what else, you know? What else to say? But anyway, so the whole video is this indoor skate park is my second home, is because now I like every Saturday I'm looking forward to it, because there's this kid named Jet. You know, he's 7 years old. He you know, he's kind of overweight and everything, and I'm sure like a lot of people put him down, but I feel like he's like my little brother that I take up. Like, you know, like a kung fu master, they take up their student. That's what I feel like. And it's just, he's like so grateful, man, you know? So grateful that I'm, you know what I mean? Like, I'm skating with him and everything, and then he's skating with me, so it makes me happy. We both, you know, we both gain whatever, and I feel like getting back to my original, the beginning of the video, where I wanted to go to Laos and have a Boys and Girls Club. So now I look forward to going to the skate park over here because I got that guy Jet. He comes. If it's not him, there's always a lot of kids that come in the morning because they give out lessons and stuff, and just to be able to just skate with all those kids and just I don't know any words to say, but like kind of reinforcing my goal, you know, from the beginning when I started skateboarding, because there's a lot of kids there, and then hang out with them and their mom or dad, or there's like older people skating there, and everyone's all like beginners, you know. And it's very cool because it's such a happy place for me when I'm there. Like last week I met this girl, I think his name was Melcy or something like that. I was just kicking it right there, you know, half pipe, and she's like, "You gonna ride?" I was like, "Nah, I'm good," you know, because she was riding the roller skate back and forth, and I was just like, man, just for me to be at the skate park is already like put a big smile on my face. You know, I don't need any more. Like anymore, it's just gonna be like bonus, right? Anymore, it's just gonna be like the topping on the cake, right? Like whether it's strawberry or icing or whatever on the cake. I already got the cake, you know. When I'm there and I get to skateboard there, because I make it an all-day mission, you know. I'm there from 11 till 7 o'clock at night. So I just take my time, and every week I go, I meet at least 2-3 people, you know, different people all the time. So it's awesome. And my cat, you know, not my cat, but there's a gray cat there. There's a black cat, a gold cat, and a gold spotted cat, and then the gray cat. The gray cat comes in. So I go out of my way to get a 3-piece chicken dinner from El Pollo Loco on a Friday night, and then I take it Saturday night or Saturday, take it with me, and you know, I wait for the cat to come, and then me and him, we just kick it, and we eat the chicken, you know. Have a lunch. Me and the cat have a lunch, and I can't ask for a better thing, you know. To be at a skate park that I love, and people love me, you know. It's like that show Cheers, you know, with Norm and Sam, and forgot the other people's name, you know. It's got Woody Harrelson, it's got Christy Alley, it's got that mailman guy Norm. I think his name is Norm. I don't know. You know, I loved it because you know, it's like it brings back happiness. You know, like when you just the song from that Cheers. You know, it goes something like this, like sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna go where everybody knows your name. Yes, I made these new Skateboarding with Lo stickers, right? So I made like a bunch of them. So I don't really hand them out all the time, but just once in a while, like here and there, like if I feel somebody, like, you know, like they'll say something about my shirt, right? About my shirt or my helmet or whatever. Then I'm like, oh, I got something for you, you know. I'll give them a sticker pack. There's like 5 stickers that I made, and then it's in like a little snack bag. So, and yeah, man, just that's how I feel, man. I feel like Cheers, you know, the show Cheers. I go there and, you know, I see like Eric, I see Will, I see Breck, Josh, you know, of course, Jet and his family, his mom, his brother and sister, and his dad. That's how I met this guy named John and his daughter Melissa, and this guy named Trey. I just saw him last week the week before that, he came like bat out of hell, like just fucking on a mission. And unfortunately, he didn't get warmed up or anything. He tried to board slide like the whole rail and fell on his wrist, so he hurt his wrist. So he had to wear like a wrist guard for a little bit. And then I saw him last week. He had a cruiser. He bought a brand new cruiser there. And you know, a lot of people were like buying boards and stuff at the shop, and it's very cool to be part of something that's positive for the skate community, you know, because like in the weekdays, you know, because I have dialysis, so I'm here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But because actually Wednesday over there, they have a kind of a cool thing. They have I think they have like a little barbecue in the morning, or like like early afternoon. And then like nighttime they have like Mike Crum, who's part of the owner of the skate park over there. He has like old school guys, not old school, but just local Texan vert skaters. On Wednesday night they come and like session, you know, there at night, like around 5 o'clock. And so yeah, they have a little thing like that, and they have like feeding the homeless on Sunday morning. So the reason I like this skate park is because it's like a community, you know, to where in California they have hundreds of skate parks, but it's all outdoors, and there's no bonding, you know what I mean? Like people just show up. Like you see all these videos on YouTube, people just roll up to skate parks by themselves, or maybe 1 or 2 people, and they skate, and hour, 2 hours, and then they leave, you know what I mean? Disperse. Because there's nothing there, right? So that's why I say this indoor skate park is my second home, is because when I go there, I feel like it's a home, you know? Like you go there, everyone's like, hey, you know, it's the same face, and a couple of visitors there, you know? Actually, one guy drove all the way from Houston, which is 3 hours south from here, to skate this park. And he only skated like 45 minutes, and then he left. He drove home. Yeah, so. But yeah, because this one has more of a, you know, because of the indoor skate park, indoor skate shop, it makes it feel more like homey, you know? It makes it feel like a family, you know? I hate to say that because it reminds me of Fast and Furious, right? Family, right? But it is though. And yeah, man, every Saturday, unless it snows or rain, where they not gonna be open. But I think they are open because they have an indoor in there. Because it rained last Saturday and it was still open. And I just hope Will, the owner of that skate shop, he's 28 years old, so you know what I mean. He has a future ahead of him. So I don't know if he's gonna, you know what I mean, do the skate shop for I don't know how many years or whatever. But you know, everybody has different paths in life, you know. I mean, I hope he keeps doing the skate shop. But then again, going back to the Mansfield skate shop over there, the skate park skate shop, the freestyle, that guy Damien, his mom passed away and he got some money from the life insurance. He opened his own shop down here in Hearst. And when I came here in 2008, I used to skate from here to there. It's like 3 miles. Every day I'd skate from here to the shop, and every day I go hang out there in 2008. And it was awesome, man. But then all of a sudden he wanted to open another shop in Dallas. So now, you know, more headache, you know. And I think that's when like online shopping started getting big, because I think YouTube came, 2006 YouTube was started. So a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of online shit. But he bit off more than he could chew, He shouldn't have opened that other shop. He opened the other shop. The reason people came to the shop is to see him, That's what I told Will. I said, dude, people come to the shop because of you, So because he was going from Dallas to Hearst, they don't see him. And not even that, he got more employees, right? He hired more people working, and they don't own the place, so they don't give a shit. You know what I mean? In the beginning, he had the right idea, but a lot of times, people lose their focus what their purpose was when they started, right? So you started carrying like bikinis and shit and like other shit, soft goods. Soft goods don't do shit, man. You can skip, people could get clothes, shoes, whatever from anywhere, right? But they have to get a skateboard from a skate shop, you know what I mean, or online, whatever. But you gotta have you gotta have the fucking Swiss bearings, you gotta have the 50 millimeter 101, you know what I mean, Duro, badass wheels, Spitfire, you know what I mean. You gotta have the Spitfire wheels, right? You know what I mean? Independent trucks, It doesn't matter, but I mean, that's what I like anyway. Boards, whatever, man, anti-hero, heroin, whatever you want, man. But you need the good shit. But soft goods you get anywhere, I like my shoes, I get my shoes from Walmart. They're Airwalks, $20. And they last just as long as all the other shoes. You know what I mean? But you can't get a good skateboard at Walmart, you know what I'm saying? So that's the difference. So you got focused on the hard goods, but what do I know, So anyway, then I moved back to California in 2009, and after that, I looked up his skate shop, and it was like Aero 404, right? You know what that means? Aero 404 means it's gone. Sucks, because when he got that money, it was him and his dad that opened the shop. His dad, helped them build the shop, and he was the only one there, 6 days a week or whatever, like building it for like 2 years before he even hired somebody. And then a couple, 2-3 years later, just took a shit. Because he had a miracle, because what happened was his name is Damien, he used to work for Fast Forward. They used to have 15 Fast Forward skate shop here. And then he had a manager that he worked under, his name is Vito. And the guy was like manager for Fast Forward. So when Damien quit Fast Forward, he went to open his own shop. And then so this guy Vito was supposed to be like a Christian, right? Because he would automatically take 15% of his paycheck to the church. I don't know if you know anything about Texas, but Texas has the most church anywhere, okay? Churches, just to go to my dialysis, there's 3 church right here. 3 freaking church. Down that one street, there's 3 church. Yeah, just give you an idea. So he's supposed to be like this Christian guy, and he gives money, 15% to the church and all that. So that's why, I always say, I'll believe it when I see it. Because Damien was at the San Diego trade show, and Beto was there. So this is around 2004, I think. 2004 or 2006, that's when he opened his shop. So he got an appointment to see the DC shoes. DC, Drawers Clothing. I always thought it was Danny Way and Colin McKay. But it's actually DC stands for Drawers Clothing. So they were big back then, Drawers shoes, Colin McKay, Danny Way, Josh Kalis, you know what I mean? They were huge back then. Steve Williams. Yeah, so he went to his appointment to the DC booth to get shoes for his shop. So Beetle saw him. Oh, my sister's here. Ma quay thế, video đi. Video đi. Ma quay thế. Ma quay thế.
ไปโล
Đồ của anh.
ไปซื้อเต่าย่อไม่ได้ซ้ำเอาคนกินไม่พอ
Cái ốc ca này má đại lắm. Thì mép lắm cái dầu con thùng. At the Lowe's, you get a stove, but they sold out. Sold out. What? เต่ายัง
ยังมาทิ่มอ่ะฟรีเซอร์ป่ะ
what? Yeah. No, washer. Washing machine. Yeah, so he went a 4 o'clock appointment in the DC booth. So Beetle saw him. Remember, Beetle works for Fast Forward. He has 15 shops. So Beetle told the DC rep, saying if you sell shoes to Damien for his shop, he's gonna pull the orders from 15 Fast Forward shop. So this guy's supposed to be Christian, you know what I mean? So yeah. So the DC rep told Damien that he can't sell shoes to him. You know? So then so he got lucky. Damien got lucky because right after that, this is when Nike was making special edition for shops only, right? Like special edition SB Nike for shops. I think they give them like 15 pairs per store, something like that, you know. So yeah, it turns out he got account from Nike, and that's what made his skate shop boom fast, because kids were lining up like the night before and shit to get the shoes, you know. But now they do it better, because now they just give you a raffle ticket. Doesn't matter what time you come in. So they put a raffle. If you get your number, then you can buy. Yeah, you gotta win a raffle to give the company your money. Yeah, so that just gives you an idea where skateboarding is, you know. The reason I knew that is because when I came here in 2008, I went up to the Fast Forward up here in Hearst, and it turns out to be that Zoomies bought them all out. So all the Fast Forward are all Zoomies now. So I get over there and I see the just the manager of the store. And I was just chit-chatting, and I told him that I was here in 2002 and skating at Mansfield and all that, and he was telling me, and I asked him if he knew a guy named Damien. He's like, oh yeah, he has a skate shop right up the street. He's like, I'm getting ready to go down there to get my my Nike SB as soon as the store closed. So he's like, yeah, I called him, and he was holding a pair of shoes of Nikes for me, limited color or whatever, you know what I mean, like fucking $300 Nike shoes SB. But yeah, that shit used to be huge, man. the shoe. What is it? There's people that buy shoes and shit. So yeah, and then that's how I went down there. That's how I got to go to Damien's skate shop. It was called the Index Skateboard Shop. And that's how I went to reconnect with him in 2008. And that's, you know, his shop ended up in a sad state, but kind of sucks. But I don't know. I mean, I hope I get to see him one day here, if he still lives here, that I can ask him what the real story is, you know, with his shop. Here's something funny. One of the pro skateboarder had one of those SB special edition SB shoes, and he was at the airport, and there was a Japanese man chasing him down while he was trying to get in line to get on a plane, and the guy was yelling at him in Japanese, but he didn't understand what he was saying. So it turns out that the Japanese man, he's a shoe freak, you know, and he was looking for that shoe that that guy, the pro skater, was wearing. He was looking for that shoe for a long time, but because, you know, the pro skateboarder, they use the shoes and they rip them up from skating, right, doing kickflips and 360 kickflips and stuff like that. So he started yelling at him and stuff, saying that he ruined the shoes, you know, because the shoes could have been put on the wall, right? That's how it is, man. That's the problem with collectors, you know, whether you're collecting shoes, video games, Pokemon cards, or Yu-Gi-Oh cards, or whatever. It's like right now I have like 3 boxes of Yu-Gi-Oh cards just sitting there, you know. So anyway, man, I just want to thank God, you know, that to give me the privilege to be where I'm at right now, and just to have my life so great right now, and just gonna enjoy it, and I'm glad, like, I'm back. I got my love for skateboarding back, and it's kind of a curse, because sometimes like last night too, you know, every night I'm sitting there, like, I'm always dreaming of skateboarding, and I'm thinking of tricks to try when I go to the skate park and when I get there. Like last week, I was this thing called caveman, where you run up and just jump on your skateboard, jump on like a quarter pipe or a bank, and then go down. So that way you don't have to, you know, pump. Instead of pushing from the flat, you run to one of the walls, jump on it, and come back. You already got the speed, so you don't have to push. Because, you know, like I was telling you, my heels were hurting. So in my mind, I was gonna jump like 4 or 5 feet, you know, but I get there and I'm only like 2 feet off the ground. So a little bit away from, you know, the reality is way off from what I'm thinking. So, and that's what happened. But you know what? Today's Tuesday, so 4 more days, we'll be back in action again to my second home. But in the meantime, go visit your friends and family. The dead do not need anything. Always have fun. You see me have fun, you see me quit. Always keep on rolling. Because running water won't go stale. And I'll be keeping the underground lit for you and me, alright? See you next time.